Hello, hi, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, how are you today?
Today still boring.
Why? Should I say
Yep.
happy Monday?
Mm, there are not some task for me to do, so it's a very boring.
Oh, what kind of test?
Maybe fix some issues or develop some features.
Okay, all right. Well, we should be still thankful, right? Because we are still alive and we are still surviving. That's what life is. And I did a lot of things this weekend. I am also very tired today. Um, I slept around 10 p.m. last night,
Oh,
and
it's quite early.
yeah, it's quite early because I woke up around 3 in the morning on that day, Sunday, and then we had a short trip. My husband and I went for a motor ride. It's like 2 to 3 hours drive, and then we swam to the falls and with his friends, and it was so nice, but at the same time it was tiring because I'm not young anymore, so it's easy for me to become very tired. But I enjoyed. I'm not complaining. I'm just tired, but I'm happy. Okay, how about
Uh,
you? How was your weekend?
I only have one day off
Mm,
the last weekend because
mm.
the national holiday. Yeah, so I don't go anywhere. Just stay in the dorm and watch some online course
Mm,
and ah and that's all.
mm. Okay. I just want to warn you first, Jordan,
Okay.
that I have cough. So you might hear me coughing every now and then because I have colds right now. So my voice is not in a 100 good situation. Okay, so please bear with me if you're gonna hear me coughing.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine.
Yeah, so you just had 1 day vacation. That's very awful. I don't think that you can do or you can enjoy 1 day. So what you can just do for that is just to take rest, right? To take a
Uh,
rest because you need to prepare yourself again for another week.
yeah.
Okay, which is very tough. All right. So anyway, okay, let's just start with our lesson. Okay, just one moment. All right. So we talk about. Can you tell me something about what we had discussed last week or last time that we talked?
Um, we have go through and
Mm-hmm.
job interview
Okay.
dialogue and the and describe some pictures in in different kind of jobs.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. All right. So we talk about different kinds of jobs, different kinds of careers, some of the highest paid jobs in Taiwan, right?
Yep.
Okay. And I gave you not really a homework, but like an activity, okay, that you might think for your weekend. So we have discussed a dialogue, a job interview example, right?
Yes.
And but basically the job interview that we talk about is not related to what you're doing right now. So let's just have a quick example of these questions based on your own experience, based on your own um career, okay?
Okay.
Based on your own of course situation. All right, so I will become the interviewer and you will become the candidate. So let's start. Okay? All
Okay.
right. So, hi Jordan, how are you today?
I'm fine. It.
All right, so let's start. Can you tell me how many jobs have you had since leaving from the university?
I've only worked for one company. One company.
And why you said that you just joined from one company ever since you left your university, right? Why
Yes.
did you stay there? Why you haven't changed company yet?
Uh, because I think that position still have lots of things for me to learn. I I,
What
I think I
happened?
should um I should I don't know how to say it, and it's difficult.
Okay. So you work or you stayed there for how many years again?
Almost 2 years.
Yeah, for 2 years. So I think for 2 years, you might also say that probably I'm still because I'm still enjoying my company. I could see that I'm still earning, and at the same time I'm still enjoying what I'm doing right now. Things that you love about your company, because you wouldn't be able to stay there for 2 years if you still don't love the company, right? But of course, you can add that. But definitely, I want to grow. All right, I want to have a career development, and I am also planning to find a better and suitable, all right, company right in the future. Things
Yeah.
like that. Okay, so far that you've stayed there for 2 years, what have you
Yes.
done that shows leadership?
That's true. Well, I, I'm a project owner,
Mm-hmm.
uh, half years ago, and I had to design a feature and develop whole pattern with my colleague.
Okay, and can you tell me about your strength? What are your strengths?
Mm, I have a strong comprehension in machine learning,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm good at analyzing data and find the correlation between data.
Okay, great. And since you started working, or since you joined, okay, from the company, in what ways has your job changed? What are the changes since you joined from that company?
I don't really understand the question. What what do you mean change? Change?
Change.
What
It
kind?
only it only means that this interviewer is actually wants to know if there are some development, all right, that you have done from the company. If there are some things that you did from the company, or things that have been changed since you work. So for example, I'm just working from this position, I got promoted. Before, I'm just working from this account, but I'm now working from this account. Things that have has been changed since you joined from the company. I'll give you an example. So since I joined from the company, there are already two managers that I have encountered, and
Oh,
there are also a lot of employees who got just resigned, and who just came in. So it means that people come and go, all right? But definitely what will make you stay from the company is your own desire. You know, things that change, those are the changes from the company that I would like to hear.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay, I can share one.
Mhm.
Uh, during the during 2 years, my I have changed supervisor.
Mhm.
Because the former supervisor, he got a problem with manage people. She, he can
Mhm.
he can make right decisions to the problem, and
Mhm.
always change his target. So the the programmer is harder to reach his his target.
All
Yeah.
right. So definitely, it could have been done better. We're going to talk more about this one as the lesson started. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I know you're tired. I understand because I also feel the same way, and you're also working in the morning, right? So I
Yeah.
know that you're doing your best to be alive today. Okay. Now, all right. What mistakes have you made?
Um.
Mhm.
Uh. When I was new to the position, and I have to I have to have a presentation to my supervisor,
Mhm.
and I I present my research in a uh, how to say a professional way,
Mhm.
and my supervisor can hardly understand what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
I think I should describe the function more more easily to understand.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay, that's all.
Okay. Well, it's just very basic, and because you said I present my research, so it should be on a past tense form, like I presented my research.
I
Okay. Yeah,
present.
because
Okay.
definitely it already happened from the past. I also experienced that, but during that time I was not ready because my boss just told me that I need to present my report the following day, which is early in the morning, but he just told me that at night. So, boss, why are you doing this to me? That's my question. So, I actually did not present my reports properly. I was with the client, so I was so embarrassed that time. Now, but I was young that time. Right now, I don't think that I would be able to have that kind of mistake anymore because I'm much, I think, matured, and I think, handle pressure already. Because when you were still young, there are a lot of things that you cannot handle yet, and it's easy for you to give up. So I think preparation is the key, right? If you have a lot of preparations, then you won't go wrong. And have you ever worked with a different person?
Do you mean difficult
Yep, difficult person.
difficult person? Yeah. Uh, yes. My boss
Difficult person.
is a very difficult person. My former
Okay.
boss. Yeah. Um, he's always change his decision, and
Mm.
hard 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 to um, too hard to work with, and he is very uh, he can't always show his respect to the programmers.
Mm-hmm. That's too
He's
bad.
yeah, he think the programming is an basic skill, and you should you should present yourself in a
Mm-hmm.
in a in in a angle of marketing. I don't know how to say it.
Did you become a lot happier when he left the company? Be honest.
Actually, he didn't left the company. He just changed his position.
Ah, what do you mean? He
Yeah.
got promoted?
Nope. He was the
Mm-hmm.
boss of engineers, and now
Mm,
he's charged the marketing
okay.
market team. Yeah.
But you're still happy because you wouldn't be able to see him more often, right?
Yeah.
It's like something I mean you made that situation made you happy because at the same time you wouldn't be able to encounter that boss. But anyway, Jordan, okay, you mentioned earlier this sentence, he didn't left the company. So it should be he did not leave the company or he didn't leave the company. So
Uh. Hmm.
always remember when we already use the word did, it's always in a base form like um did play, I did play, or I did not play. Okay? So the next word or the verb should be on a base form. So, yeah.
Oh. So I I cannot say didn't, and I should say did not,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's same.
Okay.
That's the contraction. Okay. So, yep. Um most difficult person that I had handled or worked with was also my boss. Same thing with you. He is very indecisive and he's stealing someone's ideas always. during the during the presentation it's real, he's actually Korean, and we always have meeting teachers and him, and he said no, your idea is not good, blah 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 blah, but during the presentation he will use it. So we were like, what? Okay, that's what I said. All right, of course we could not argue with the boss because no matter what happened he is still the boss, right? We still respect him because at the same time um we could not argue the boss. That's the most difficult part when you need to say something but you cannot. You need to control yourself.
Yes. It's hard.
Right. Okay. So we do have the dialogue. We're done with that. Okay. Let's talk about um another another dialogue part. It's actually the same thing, but we're just going to switch role. Basically, I'll be the candidate. You will become the interviewer. Okay.
Okay. So, how many jobs have you had since leaving university?
Well, to be honest, I've worked for more than 10 companies already. I'm a kind of short temper, but right now, I really want to work with a company that will make me retired from that job.
Uh, why have you changed job?
Alright, because way back then I think I was very adventurous, so I want to try a lot of things. I want to explore so many things, and those are some of the reasons why I change my jobs often, because I got bored easily. But just like what I've said, if I'll be given a chance, since I'm getting adult and become more matured, I really want to stay in a company that will cater and show my abilities.
What
Hello.
are your strengths?
My strength, I could say that I'm a team leader. Okay, I can handle groups, and I have already experienced that by handling a group project that my boss provided to us. I know it was not easy to become a leader, but I think I possess with that personality, wherein I can handle different tasks, and I can handle people with with this a kind of fair situations with each of us.
What mistakes have you made?
I have a lot of mistakes I made from the past, but one of the mistake I made, and I know that something that I wouldn't be able to forget, is that I actually had an argument with my boss. It was a mistake because no matter what happened, that person is still my boss, and I actually did not argue professionally that time, because I almost shouted at him. Well, I was young that time. I know it would not compensate the age, but that was actually one of the mistakes that I am still regretting until now.
Oh, have you ever worked with a difficult person?
Yeah, since I have worked from 10 companies already, more than 10 companies already. Each company, I guess, I have an experience handling with different person, but um, if you really love the job, no matter what kind of environment you have, your passion would be still with that job. And that's the reason why, even I had experienced a lot of difficult people in my life, I still managed to come to work every day.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. Well, those are just like an impromptu answers. I actually did not think of that. It just came to my mind, so I said that. So, okay, let's start going to the useful expressions. It's on the next page. Can you see that?
Okay, excuse me, I have a question, and
Sure.
I have searched in internet for many interview questions, and actually I want to apply for a position in Japan maybe next year.
Okay. Mhm.
Yep. But the interview question it
Mhm.
from Japanese company is quite different. Uh, they want you to show your royalty and why you want to stay in Japan, and how how much do you understand the Japanese culture,
Okay.
that kind of things, and
Mhm.
maybe maybe I can give you some questions I have searched, and
Sure. We can talk
we
about that.
can,
Yeah.
yeah, we can test some questions
Do
maybe
you
in the
have
future.
it? You can send that to my email, so I can also check that. But do you want to talk about it right now, or we can talk it on the next day? What do you want?
Okay, I can arrange the questions, and I
Okay.
send the questions to you.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
send you my email. I'll give you my email because I think it would be easier for me to read that. Oh,
Okay,
no.
thank you.
No, no, no. That's not the correct one. There should be number two. Um, Sorry. The second email is the correct one, okay?
Okay,
Yep.
okay, I got it.
yeah, you can send me those questions that you would like us to talk about, so we can basically have an idea about what would be the best answers, what are the ideas that we could gather from that questions. Okay, so are you
Okay.
really planning to work in Japan in the future?
I have a great interest in
Yeah,
Japanese
me too.
culture, and yeah, so I want to live there.
To be honest, I work in China before. I also even work in Singapore, and to be honest, in so many Asian countries already. But
Yeah.
I never tried Japan. But I'd love to work in Japan. They have higher standards for a teacher. Okay, they have a lot of
Yeah.
certificates, and I was really planning to work in Japan. It's just that my child is so young. She's just 1 year old, so I could not apply for a job right now.
But will you apply in the future to Japan?
I'm planning to apply probably after 3 years or 2 years. Who knows, right?
Uh,
Yeah, cause I already work in China, in Singapore. I had also few months experience in Malaysia, also even in Thailand. And I stayed in China for so many years. Okay.
oh,
Yeah. It's just that they're not
uh,
they're not granting residential there. You know that.
presidential
Residential is like,
resident.
even you
Oh,
stayed there for 5 years, they would not honor you as a resident of China. You will still become, a foreigner. And come to think
oh,
of that, I stayed for 5 years, but they did not grant my, yeah,
oh. I
residential
think that is
application.
not a problem for me because they think we are part of them.
That's what
And
they're thinking, to be honest. Yeah.
yeah, yes, and actually, China and Singapore, there
Mhm.
are a lot of position for me to apply. But I think China is very stressful, and the government is very I don't know what to say, and it's not a democracy country.
Right. But why there are actually so many people want to go to Japan? It is not my first time, okay, to hear this one from my student who is also a course or job related to computer, because I had also experienced that before. They really wanted to work in Japan. And is that just because of the culture, or oh, let me ask this question. I cannot remember. Have you ever been to Japan before?
Yep, I have been to Japan this year.
So did you feel, fascinate about that country? Because that's what I felt when I visited Japan.
I don't I understand the question.
Fascinated, like amazed. Okay, let me
Uh,
type the word here.
okay. Oh, amazed. Amazed for what?
Yeah, about the culture, about the place, about, tradition. That's what I felt when I went to Japan, China, and Taiwan. China and Taiwan are actually sharing the same culture. This is just my opinion because I'm a foreigner. Okay,
Yeah,
so even some structures, right, of the buildings, of the temples are quite same.
yeah, it's quite similar.
Even the school, I know that there is a university in Hsinchu, which they also have in China, but I forgot the name of that school.
Yeah, 清华 and
Yeah,
交通.
yeah, yeah. Xinhua,
Yes,
like that. Yeah,
清华
I
in
stayed
Beijing.
there. Yeah, I stayed there in that university for 2 days because my student in Taiwan is working there. She is a professor,
Oh,
and if you have a visitor from another country, you can use the hotel inside that university for free. Those are
Yes.
only the benefits because she is a professor there. So she allowed me to use the hotel for 2 days for free. Yeah, she's my student from Taiwan, but she's also a professor, an engineering professor.
Yes.
Tsinghua University. So there is one in Beijing because that's what she told me.
Oh,
And even
yeah.
mm, even is it the museum or the temple? She told me that the temple, I forgot the name. They're trying to get it back. They're trying to return that museum to China. I cannot remember the name of museum. Is it the National Museum? But that's what she told me the history. Like China is trying to get everything from that museum to their country. I just cannot remember the exact name.
Do you say museum?
Yeah, museum.
Yeah. Oh, 故宫
Is that
is
true?
national
Yeah, yeah,
museum, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're claiming that it's part of their culture, it's from them, and it's really not from Taiwan, yeah, stuff like that. There are a lot of issues, so don't mind it.
Yeah, it's another problem.
Yeah, you will not like if you hear a lot, okay, of things. Okay,
Yeah.
so again, Jordan, you can send me those questions. Okay, let's have a schedule about those questions so we can prepare. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, good. Okay, so let's talk about useful expressions. So we do have two examples of questions here. The first one is, what did you learn from your last job? So the expression is, can you see that on the right part? I
Yeah.
learned to.
Yeah. Yes, I learned too. Yeah.
Okay, so what did you learn from your, well, the question is not applicable to you
Mm,
because you did not have a previous job. So what have you learned so far from your job?
what have you learned so far? I don't realize the question.
Like,
What did you learn so far? What does it mean?
are there things that you have learned from your job right now? Things,
Oh,
yeah.
I learned to program in embedded system, and I never learned that before in school.
Okay. There are actually a lot of things I've learned from my company, which, yeah, that's actually right because there are a lot of learnings that we could not learn from the school, that we wouldn't get from the school, right? It's what
Yep.
we call experience.
Yes.
And what didn't you like about your job? What are those things that you don't like about your job right now?
Uh, mm, I have no idea about the question.
S- So you mean you like everything on your job right now, your company?
No.
Hmm.
Mm, mm, I had a problem with uh, career path
Hmm.
in my company. I
Hmm.
think there are no other opportunity for me to explore my skills, and I think that the position is limited.
The position
Yeah.
is limited.
Yeah. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the things I can do is very uh, it it's quite a few. It's narrow. I don't know how to describe, and it's not a uh, I don't have to multitext. It's quite boring and yeah.
Quite boring, so you want to explore more things.
Yes.
Mm. Well, you're about to do that probably in few years or in few months time, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And let's talk about skills. Okay. So these are the questions. We do have another two. What are you good at? So when you say what are you good at, you have to tell us your strength. Okay. What are the advantages? What would be the benefits of hiring you in our company? Right? So can
Yes.
you tell me what are you good at, Jordan?
Mm, I'm good at
Mhm.
communication and uh, uh, before I start my task, I will try to find a specific target and make sure my result will is reach the and reach what
Mhm.
was provides need. Uh, it's hard to describe.
Okay, don't worry. We're going to have it improve, okay? If we are now going to talk about different questions, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, next is do you have any special skills?
My main strengths are uh, image processing and data analyzing. I'm good at f- find find the correlation between data. Yeah.
Okay. So, for your future plans, okay, what do you want to do in the future? These are your plans, okay, in the future.
Uh, I hope I can improve the product in the company
Mm-hmm.
and plan to be a team leader in a few in the future.
Okay. And where do you want to be in 10 years' time?
Mm, you want to be?
I hope to have. You can use this expression. I hope to have.
I hope to. I, I hope. Could you give me an example? I don't how to. I don't know how to use. I hope to have.
I hope to have a better career development after 10 years. I'm seeing myself having in a good position, things like that. So, working from this company, making this company more progressive, you always, even you're not planning to do that, if you're on a job interview, you should actually tell us that you have the plan in the company that you're trying to work with or that you're applying for, because that's what we are actually waiting. So I hope to have a career development. I am actually looking forward to work from this company with a really one of the highest position, because that's already for 10 years. I think that after 10 years, I would be able to show all my abilities. I would be able to have this company become an asset, right? Like that. Even
Oh,
even it's not your plan to work there for 10 years, because
okay.
nobody want to hire someone who will not be there for so long, right? If you're going to be too honest, they might not hire you. That's
Okay,
the
I got it.
reality.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm,
so this is very easy because this is just all about your interests. What do you do in your free time?
what do you do in your free time?
Yep.
I spend a lot of time in exercising.
Mhm.
I'm a sports guy. I love to work out every day
Mhm.
and playing basketball with my friends. Maybe join a basketball game. Yeah.
Okay. And what are your main interests
Mm,
aside from playing basketball? I spend a lot of time blank. Like me, I spend a lot of time sitting in front of computer, browsing internet, watching everything that I would be able to see from YouTube. I'm wasting my time basically for internet. I am becoming addicted, so I'm trying to reduce that, to be honest, because nobody wants to waste their time for those nonsense things. So, what are your main interests, Jordan?
I really enjoy um, travel travel abroad. Uh,
Okay. Mhm.
yeah. I want to. I love to experience many different cultures.
Mhm.
Yep.
To travel abroad, which is also my interest, but I don't have lot of money right now.
Yeah. Me too.
Oh my gosh. Because traveling, if I am just a billionaire, you wouldn't be able to see me anymore. Like, because every day I'll be visiting different places. I'm quite curious because you want to travel abroad. It's one of your passion. If you'll be given a chance, can you give me the three countries that you would like to see or visit and why? Just give me
Hmm.
three.
Okay. The first one is America.
Okay.
Yeah. And the second one is Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one is uh, hmm, Spain, maybe.
Okay. Let's talk about America first. Why do you want to visit America? Like most of the people really want to go to America.
Mm, uh, because I'm a programmer
Mm-hmm.
and uh, I'm always have a dream that I can work in Silicon Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And and uh, even I can work there, I want uh, to see people how does people work every day
Okay.
in their yeah and and there's a say America is a country of freedom. I want
Feel that.
to yeah I want to experience it.
Okay. Greece is one of my dream countries as well. Okay, because um I majored in English, and during college time we talk about Greek mythology. Do you know that? Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically a book which talks about different gods and goddesses, right? So
Yes.
I was really fascinated about the story of, Zeus, um, Athena, right?
Yes.
Aphrodite, those gods and goddesses, which basically gods, but their attitude or personality is not. They're like human as well. They feel jealous to each other, stuff like that. So, um, that's the main reason I want to see Grace because of that. Because I've read a lot of stories about it. And you mentioned about Spain.
Yes.
I consider that as well, but yeah, I am quite curious about Spain. Why do you want to get there? You know, trivia, Jordan, Philippines has been conquered by 333 years by Spain. So, our culture, like 70% of our culture is actually from them.
70
Percent.
oh
Because
oh
they have conquered us for 300 years, more than 300 years. So
yes.
our religion, Catholic, is from them. Some of the words that we are using in Filipino are borrowed from Spain. Um, that's why some of the parts of the Philippines they can speak Spanish.
Oh, can you speak Spanish?
No, my grandmother can,
Oh,
but we were not able to learn that because we're far from my grandmother. So, but just my mom told me that my grandmother is good at speaking Spanish, and then yeah. So, how about you? Why do you want Spain to visit?
I think Spain is one of the powerful country in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard the people from Spain is very uh, patient and
Mm-hmm.
uh, I don't know the word and in English and the building there
Mm-hmm.
is beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, U.S., Greece, and Spain. Me, my first choice is France. Um, Basically, I just want to see the Eiffel Tower. I think it's gonna be my achievement if I take picture from that Eiffel Tower, because it's very expensive to go to Europe. I'm from the Philippines, and having visa to European countries is not easy. And
Yeah.
second is well, if I go to France, I would be able to go to different countries already because it's just very near, right? you
Yeah.
can just you can just take a bus, you can go to UK, right?
Yes.
England, you can go to Germany, to Spain, because those are very just near countries,
Yes.
neighbor countries. So my second choice would be Greece. Okay, that's my top two. My top three, my God, it can be Switzerland or Netherlands because I've heard that it's very safe. There are a lot of beautiful places, and Ireland as well. Oh my, it's so hard to choose. So probably we can think that I hope that we were born really rich, so
Yes.
we don't need to work really hard just to get to those countries. Oh my gosh. Okay, so and what are those countries that you're not interested to visit?
Yeah, and Korea.
Oh, why? You're the first
Uh,
person I've heard that. You're
um,
different. Why?
hmm?
I'm
uh,
curious. Don't worry. We have.
there are a lot of
Mm.
Chinese hate Korean
Oh, why?
because they are not they did a lot of bad things to Chinese in international competition in sport,
Mm.
uh,
So you don't.
base,
Okay.
baseball,
Mm-hmm.
taekwondo, a lot, yeah. And we
Mm-hmm.
and Korea and Taiwan have the similar similar in industry, yeah. The car car industry and semiconductor industry
Mm-hmm.
is
Okay.
quite similar, and Korea is always a great competitor of Taiwan.
Okay. Competitor.
Competitor, yeah, yes.
Oh, I see. So you can try to get there. Okay. I have been to Korea as well. I know Korea is kind of popular now because of K-pop drama, right? But since I have been to Japan, I'm always telling this to people that I know that Korea is just an overrated. Like for me, to be honest, Japan is a lot beautiful. It's nicer. But because K-pop singers of Korea are becoming very popular, so probably that's the reason why a lot of people nowadays, right, like to get there. But
Yes.
of course, in my own opinion, there are so many beautiful countries compared to Korea. Okay, so that's the first one. Are there any more?
Okay.
Any more countries? I think I don't want to go to those countries which are not safe. Like countries who have, who have war. Like I think now Iraq. You cannot go to Iraq. Is this country,
Yeah,
right?
I know it's quite dangerous.
Not just quite. It's really dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always bomb threat. Even suicidal bomb threat is there. They're using kids. I don't want to judge this country. Of course, not everything, not all of the people living there are crazy, but I don't know what is their idea or what do they want to do in their lives? Why they want a war, right? Life is very precious. Do you think so?
Yes. Sure.
Yeah. There are so many rich people, they cannot buy lives. No matter how rich they are, it could not save them by extending their lives. Like what happened to Steve Jobs, right? He's very powerful, he's very rich, but he cannot use his money to have his life extended, right? So
Yes.
for me, life is very precious. So why they're wasting their life? Well, I hope they will not hear me because they might do something bad to me. Okay,
Okay.
so Jordan, I'm actually expecting you to send those questions, okay, so I can also read. And we did not have really much time,
Yes.
but I actually enjoyed this day. It's just that sometimes, okay, just to have a short recap, when we are sharing stories, we sometimes forget the grammar. Even me, okay, I admit that sometimes just said that and I don't want to have myself corrected anymore because that's the reality. So let's just be careful. Anyway, it's just very minor. I've heard only some lapses, okay, to you, so which is also a good indication. So you need to tell me about when can we talk about the questions that you're going to send to me so I can also prepare, okay?
Okay, okay.
All right. Before we say goodbye to each other today, do you have any questions from me?
Nope.
Okay, and what are you going to do after the class? Are you going to have a dinner or take a sleep?
Yeah, I already had
Oh,
the
you
dinner,
already had
and
dinner.
I may I will go work out later.
Wow.
Yep.
I envy you. I hope I can also do that. I'm such a lazy person. All right. So, good luck to you and I will talk to you again on Thursday. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bye.
Bye bye.